Hey everyone, today I'm going to be showing you how I'm setting up the temporary enclosures for my two new Californian kingsnakes. So I got these guys a few days ago, and originally I was told that they were one size when really they're a lot bigger than I was expecting. So I was originally going to be putting them into the rack that I have my leopard geckos in, but after having them in there for a few days, I'm just not happy with how much space they have, and I've decided I need to upgrade them. So I'm going to be putting them into this style of tub instead, which is roughly 30 inches long, 18 inches deep, and about 8 to 9 inches tall. This tub will do them for a good while because they're actually only a couple of months old currently, so this type of tub will actually serve them until they're about a year or so old, and then I can upgrade them again. For Californian kingsnakes, you'll need a bedding of aspen. Aspen is like a wood chipping, but it's very fine, there's no dust, and it's not in any way sharp. This makes it a fantastic bedding choice for snakes who require little to no humidity, and that's exactly what Californian kingsnakes need. So here I'm giving them plenty of bedding so they can burrow. Because they're small, they do like to burrow and hide underneath the wood chips, so I'm giving them plenty, so it's about 1 inch to 2 inches deep, so that they can hide at their leisure. Because I've only had them a few days, these snakes are still in quarantine, so I'm going to be setting this up in sort of a quarantine style. So everything I put in here I can bin or replace very easily. So I left a piece of tissue on this, oops. But the tubes are just the cores from toilet rolls, and the little house there is actually a microwavable dinner thing that you can just clean and cut a hole in, so I can just get rid of that if I need to. And these leaves I got off of Wish. And I just cleaned them up, sanitized them, and now they're good to go. I'm going to be adding in a few more little houses later on, but right now I just don't have any, so I said I'd upgrade them into this for now and add in the houses after their next feeding. The reason why I have it in a quarantine kind of setup is because of the fact that I do not know if these snakes are healthy. They appear healthy, but they could have some underlying condition that could be contagious to my other animals that I would want to be able to incinerate and destroy anything that they've been in contact with, so that it doesn't risk spreading to the rest of my collection. This is the tub that I was originally going to be housing him in, but as you can see, he's actually fairly big, so I didn't want him to feel cramped, and I wanted him to be able to fully straighten out and stretch if he wants to. I've moved the leaves from the tub he was in into the new tub, so that there's something familiar there that smells the same, and I'll do the same with his water dish. This guy is the male Californian kingsnake, and he is a normal morph. This is what they usually look like, the black and white stripes. He is het albino, so if I pair him with an albino or with another het albino, I will possibly get baby albino Californian kingsnakes in future. As a general rule, you should not cohab snakes, which means you should not let them live together. But with kingsnakes, it is super important you don't do that because they are cannibalistic. And in the wild, they will eat other snakes and lizards, and they will even eat king cobras in the wild. So definitely do not keep these guys together, you will lose your snakes. Because I haven't had these guys very long, I actually haven't handled them at all either. So I figured the best way to put him in would be to actually just tip him in. When he's in, I decided I was going to scatter around his wood chips just a little bit because they again will smell like him, and it'll just help him feel like the place is more familiar. So there he is exploring and figuring out how to get into his little house. In another few days, after he gets to settle into here and relax, I'll offer him his first meal with me, see if he takes it or not, and if he takes it, fantastic. If not, I'll just wait another few days and try again. Here I'm just scattering some of the wood chips that he's already used, some of the aspen that was from his previous tub, just so that the place smells more like him and he's more likely to explore it and realise how much room he has to go. After a quick water change and making sure everything is set up, and there he is exploring, happy out. So we are good to move on to the females that I got as well. So again, exactly like the first tub, we're going to add in some aspen as substrate. A house that's easily cleanable. This one's an old lunchbox that I cut a hole in the side of. Some cardboard tubes for hiding spots. And then lastly, we'll throw in some leaves so that there's a bit of clutter around so that it's more naturalistic and she can hide a bit. So this is herself. she is an albino California kingsnake. So with herself, when she's old enough and himself is old enough, I'll be breeding the two of them, and I will hopefully be getting some normals and some albinos. And right now she doesn't seem to want to cooperate, but I need to take her leaves, because I'm going to, just like with himself, put the leaves around her house so she feels even safer and that it's like a little bush for her to hide in, and also because it'll smell like herself, and that'll hopefully help her settle in just a little bit better. So now all we have to do is put herself in, put in her wood chips, scatter them around so she's used to the smell, and then give her some fresh water and we are good. I didn't really get it on camera here, but I really like her patterning, because wherever she's yellow on her back, she's pink on her belly directly beneath it, and wherever she's pink on her back, she's yellow on her belly directly beneath it, and it's just really satisfying and cool. And so the very last thing is to have a lid with appropriate ventilation on it. So these guys are going to be stacked, so I'm going to be putting either a gap between the two boxes so the air can get in, or most likely I'm going to put some holes along the sides as well, just to make sure that they have enough air and that it's not going to get stuffy or they're not going to suffocate in the boxes. And that's it for this. So when they are a bit bigger, I'll be upgrading them again. But for now, they'll be staying in this until they're done their quarantine at least. And then I'll be giving them some more permanent fixtures. So thanks very much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to comment them below and I will do my best to help.